Welcome to the Swim Swam podcast. I'm today's host, Coleman Hodges, and joining us today, we have got the number one ranked recruit in the boys high school class of 2027. He has demolished several national age group records as he's come through the ranks. And last summer, he made his first senior world championship team in the 400 freestyle, going to Singapore with Team USA. We are sitting down today with Luka MIjatovic. Luka, thanks so much for being here. How's it going?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
The Swim Swam podcast is sponsored by Commit Swimming, the only club management software built exclusively for swim teams. Since 2015, Commit has been the go-to for coaches writing workouts, planning seasons, and tracking performance data. National level coaches around the world rely on it every day. Now Commit brings that same swimming first design to team management, combining workouts, performance, meet entries, billing, communication, websites, volunteer tracking, and more, all under one roof. Make the switch off Go Motion to a simpler, more powerful solution. Book your demo today at commitswimming.com. Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, big news. You recently announced your college commitment. You've committed to the University of Texas. Congratulations on that. That's
Thank
a big
you.
decision. Yeah. Just so let's start right off with that. Coming into the college recruiting process, what is it that you were looking for? What did you end up finding, and how did you come to decide on the University of Texas?
Yeah, so going into the college recruiting process, I kind of just wanted to see all my options first, going with the open mind. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to fit in best with how I could fit in with the team, how well I bonded with the coaches, and ultimately came down to the decision where I needed to end up. Pick Texas, of course, but at the end of the day, it's Coach Bob. He's arguably one of the best coaches in the world. You can't really pass up on that training group as well. Like Leon, Summer, Rex, like all of those guys. I feel like it's any kid's dream to just go out there and train with them, which kind of my dream growing up, like watching Michael Phelps and seeing what he did with Bob. It's kind of hard to pass up on that.
No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. What the training group Bob Bowman has assembled out there is pretty spectacular right now.
Yeah.
Like you said, with Leon, with Summer, with so many other names, all out there, all Olympians and world champions and NCAA champions. In terms of training, I am kind of curious. What is your training setup like right now, in terms of Pleasanton at the Pleasanton Seahawks, and what your training looks like on a day-to-day basis now?
Yeah, so we swim Monday to Saturday. We do Monday, Wednesday, singles, and then we'll do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday doubles, and then Saturday single to double depends on what coach decides. But Saturday afternoon is usually just filming practice. So we have like those underwater filming cameras we use those, and then we'll have mirrors at the bottom of our pool just to see how our stroke is, or we'll
Mm.
work on like turns and underwater, simple stuff like that.
So when you were going through the recruiting process, is that something that you were thinking about just in terms of adjusting to the training? I feel like a lot of Bob's athletes has said his training is a bit different. Don't get a lot of rest. It's very intense, obviously. But is the scheduling or just how the training might look something you were discussing with the coaches as you were going through your recruiting process?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when I graduate, it's going into Olympic year, right? So you don't want to have a drastically different training program. So talking to all the coaches to see what they have planned out for me and how the training is going to be like similar to my training. So talking to Bob, it was just like, honestly didn't seem much different from what I'm doing right now. Definitely going to be like different, of course, but like you said, they don't do a lot of rest. We don't do a lot of rest either. Like we kind of just like get on the wall. T tells us set, we go, and then take a little water break between sets. But other than that, there's not really much resting between sets. So just keeping similar training, like definitely like have a little different, like more weights and stuff like that. But in the water, just talking to them and not trying to drastically change it before the Olympic year.
I'm curious, just being on the world championship team this summer, I'm sure you got to be exposed and just chat with a lot of different athletes from who've been to several different college programs. Did you pick up any insight from them about what it is that you might want a college program to look like heading into this recruiting process?
Yeah, not really, to be honest. I didn't really talk to anybody like much about recruiting. Just wanted to, focus on the
Mm,
prep for world champs. Just not really speak much about the recruiting. Nobody really talked about the recruiting with me. We just honestly just talked about anything but swimming. We just try to keep our mind off swimming a little bit, but yeah, not really much talk about recruiting going on.
yeah, yeah. No, that's makes sense. It's fun to hear that when you're out of the pool, even as swimmers at training for world championships, you're not really talking about swimming that much.
Yeah.
Um, and so, how does it feel now to have this announcement out in the world, knowing that you are planning to go to Texas and train with again one of the best training groups in the world, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome to be honest. Like it's a kind of like a weight off my shoulders. Kind of now just all the recruiting stuff is over. I can fully just go back to my mind on swimming. Like I don't have to be thinking about like, oh, I have to make this decision or like I have to, think about where I want to go. Now I've finally thought about it, done, announced it, and now my mind is just completely on training right now.
Mm, yeah. Well, once again, Luca, congrats on that. It's a big decision.
Thank you.
And so we, alluded to world championships and this past summer. So I wanted to dive into that and just get
Yeah,
your take on that experience. But to start off, just at the U.S. trials, you had come in. I think it was clear from the outside that you were gunning for making a world championship team or making any international team, but the
yeah.
highest that you could. How do you feel like that meet for you overall went, especially going into the 400 free when you had already swam a couple of events?
Yeah, that was a great meet for me. I think I did amazing at all the events. But going to the 4 free, I already had that was the third day, I think.
Mhm,
So going into I had a little bit of finals experience, knew what it was like to be under that spotlight, under that pressure. So I kind of just used my previous races to translate over to my 4 free and just kind of calmed the nerves down definitely a lot because I already it was not my first final swim. So just being previously swam in the finals, it took a lot of pressure off, but definitely like had making the international team in my mind. Did not put any like it took the pressure down being in the final, but the pressure came back up when I knew it was like, well, I'm the top seed, so I everyone's kind of expecting me or to make the world championship team.
mhm. Yeah. The day prior, you had swam in the 200 free final,
Yeah,
right? You had
yeah.
been 145.9 in
Yeah.
prelims, right? Had you expected that swim from yourself?
No, no, I was actually, like, super shocked that I dropped 2 seconds. It was in prelims too, which I'm not really known for to swim in the prelims, but at these type of levels, meets, you kinda gotta step up in the morning, so
Mm,
I just did what I had to do, but I was really pleased with my 145 in the morning.
yeah. And then at night, do you have a pre-race routine that you go through, especially at big meets like this?
Not really. I haven't been to like, too many big meets like the other people have. So I kind of just did my own thing, like warmed up, listened to some music, warmed up again before my race, and then put my headphones back on and sat in the ready room.
For a 400 free race like that, what is the second warm up look like? What are you trying to activate or focus on for that race?
So for me, I kind of like to swim a little bit like a 200 easy before, um, to start off my pre-race or pre-race warm up when I'm suited, just to
Mm.
like warm up my muscles again. And then I'll do a little bit of fast kick just to warm up my legs because I'm gonna be needing my legs throughout the whole race pretty much. And then I'll do a little bit of like 10-yard burst just to warm up my muscles and everything. And then I'll go back to swimming a little bit of easy freestyle and backstroke.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
it's like roughly like 600, 700.
Yeah. Yeah. And then going to that 400 free final, is there a certain way that you wanted to execute that race?
Um, kind of want it to be a little bit, kind of more even throughout the whole race, like not push it too hard the first 200 and then not have anything left for the back half. So kind of take it out a little bit more controlled, have that little bit opening speed to be able to kick in that last 100 or 50 or however much is necessary to get myself on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned needing your legs for the entire race. Is that something that you're thinking about throughout the race? Because I feel like especially younger swimmers may not realize in a distance race or mid distance race like the 400 freestyle, you are kicking the whole time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Kinda didn't wanna, overkick, like, the first 250, I would say, just, again, to keep my legs in. So, yeah, definitely that was in the back of my mind or part of my race plan, I guess, to save my legs a little bit for the last 150 so when it was necessary, I could bring them in.
Yeah. Could you tell where you were in the race or in the field?
Um, like, a little bit, cause I was watching the, race videos, the on USA Swimming, My For Free.
Mhm.
And I didn't think that I only saw, like, Kieran in lane number 1 all the way ahead and Ryan next to me, but on the other side, I didn't see, like, Luke and any of them over there. So I kinda thought I would be, like 3rd or 4th, but I didn't expect to be, like, trailing right behind Rex the whole time.
Okay. Yeah. So so that's kind of a pleasant surprise. And then I mean, can you take me through that reaction of making your first world championship team and what that felt like?
Yeah, it was a dream come true, like, all the hard work from since I was, like, 6 years old up until now, it kinda all paid off in this one moment. I was really, really happy to make my first big international team. Last year, I made the junior Pan Pacs team, but that wasn't like the big international meet. That was like kind of like the little step before the major step of the senior USA team. But yeah, I was really excited at 16 just to be able to like make the world's team was insane, and I was really proud of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, is that I'm guessing that's not lost on you, kind of the enormity of that accomplishment just at age 16.
Yeah.
Getting to compete with those senior level swimmers. Um, uh, you mentioned since you were 6. Is that when you started swimming competitively?
I started swimming competitively when I was 5, or not really competitively, I guess. I played other sports up until I was 12 years old, I think. Like, but other like swimming, I was doing it just like my parents put me in just to like, be safe and learn how to like swim and not drown when I get like thrown in somewhere. But yeah, I didn't really take it fully seriously until I came to Pleasanton. So I was just playing other sports, yeah.
And did you come to Pleasanton when you were 12?
Yeah, summer of 2022. So yeah, I was 12, just about to turn 13.
Okay. Wow. And so then what do you feel like shifted or changed for you, or why did you decide to pursue swimming in the way that you did?
I saw I had potential, a lot of potential to swim just because of my height, and I was like I was pretty fat as a kid, so like because when COVID happened, I kind of stopped doing everything. Like I got really lazy and I got a little bit chubbier. And when I saw like, all right, I'm putting up these times at this weight and like looking like a little bit bigger than everyone else, I knew that if I completely dialed in on swimming, I'd be able to like do something, or I'd hope I could do something.
Yeah. Is there something that speaks to you about swimming, or a part of swimming that you really enjoy compared to other sports, or like just the reason? The reason that you were drawn to swimming compared to the other sports you were playing?
I think the team environment is like a lot different in swimming. Like,
Mm.
it's not really like a team sport, but it is a team sport. Like, you need your teammates there with you to help you, guide you, like push you through those practices. But within like soccer, football, like you have teammates around you. Or like for soccer or football, if you have a bad game, right, you have your teammates to step up behind you. And in swimming, you don't really have that. Like it all eyes on you. And I kinda like that because it's puts a little pressure on you that you gotta, if you don't work hard, your results are obviously not gonna show. So it kind of motivated me like, all right, if I work hard and everything, I can make it and I can make it to the top.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It is more of an individual sport. You do have more of a say or control in your own destiny, which it seems like you took full advantage of.
Yeah.
When did you have an aha moment, or did you have that moment when you were like when you had fully committed to swimming? You were like, "Wow, I could make a sectional cut or a sectional I could win sectionals or I could make a junior national cut." Did you have those motivators along the way or one specific one?
Yeah, definitely like time standards, like just the sectionals, the futures, the winners, summers, like all of those were kind of building blocks up until like the main goal, which was trials. I
Mm.
feel like every swimmer growing up wants to make Olympic trials. So just like using the mini time standards as motivation just to push me every day. Like I make this meet, I make sectionals. Okay, let's shoot for next meet, let's go for futures and so on and so forth. So just using those as little building blocks definitely helped me along the way.
Yeah. When did you I'm assuming you are in the Pleasanton's like top training group now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When did you join that group?
It was the winter of October of 2020. No, September of 2022 is when I moved up to Steve's group.
Okay. And what was that adjustment curve like for you of training
Uh,
with that group?
it was definitely, like, a lot different than what, I was used to because in previous, I never did, like, doubles or, like,
Mm.
much intense training like that before. So, going into, like, the new group with, like, all the older kids and finally starting to do doubles or I kinda did doubles before, like, I visited his group, like, once a week, I think it was in the summertime, but, like,
Mhm.
I didn't really start a full schedule, so starting, like, a full training schedule and having people to chase was definitely beneficial to me because I was always going the fastest lane and then just try and keep up with the fastest kids in the group, which helped me a lot because I couldn't really slack off at all. And Steve never lets me slack off, but it's just a lot. Helpful to me when there were faster kids in the group, and then also adding those additional practices helped me boost my confidence and help my aerobic base a little bit more.
Yeah. Were you always someone who was, swimming distance events, or were you swimming other events and kinda morphed into more of a mid-distance, distance freestyle?
So in my age group days, I wasn't really like freestyle at all. Like my first records was the 50 bag, like my first age group record were
Really?
backstroke and butterfly events. So when I was 8 and under, I was like breaking all these LSC records in like the 50 bag, 50 fly, 100 IM. And then when I got to Steve's group, it's kind of when like, all right, I started swimming more freestyle events, and I was like, all right, maybe I can do something because I was throwing down some pretty good times. Right when I joined the group, like that December, when I moved up, I broke my first nag in the 5 free. I was like 424. Right when I like moved, I went from 442 to 424 in the span of like 3 or 4 months with
Wow.
that a little bit of, aerobic training, so I was like, "Alright, I think I can swim freestyle pretty good." I unlocked something new.
No kidding. Yeah. You new level unlocked,
Yeah,
certainly.
exactly.
I mean, that's again. Do you find something that you enjoy about those longer freestyle events, or how have they grown on you?
Yeah, so I kinda grew up, like, not really swimming the 5 free and stuff like that, but when I got to Steve's group, kinda swimming those longer events, it's kinda like it's a lot more interesting for me just because, like, a lot can change throughout the race, like, in a sprint, not really, like, much can change, but if you're swimming a 5 free, like, if you're ahead the first 100, by the 300 mark, something could change. So just, like, that stuff kinda, like, it was kinda cool for me, like, just to see that a lot can change throughout such a short amount of time.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like the 500 free or the 400 free in long course, it's such a unique event. It's such like a sweet spot of it's not quite a sprint, right? But you're
Yeah.
still kind of have to be very speedy, but also very controlled throughout the race. It's very tactical,
Yeah,
um, and it's not quite the longer ones where you're just kind of going and slogging along, but you do have to have that endurance base.
yeah. It's, definitely a lot more strategic than the sprint events. A lot it also, like, for me personally, when, like, the 400 is kinda like the perfect amount where I can find my rhythm in a race. Like, 100
Mm.
free is kinda a little bit too short where my stroke gets a little bit choppy, or, like, the mile, when I get tired, my stroke just starts to get whacked. So, like, the 4 free or 5 free yards is, like, kinda like the perfect amount where I don't need to, like, have a really fast stroke rate, or I don't really have a slow stroke rate. I kinda in between where I can find, like, the perfect balance for me, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, and I mean, also speaking of balance, just what is your balance in training versus of focusing on freestyle versus? I mean, you have a great IM too, so it seems like all your strokes are fairly up there, or you're putting time and work into improving them. What is the weekly balance like of what you're training in practice?
I'd say most of it is freestyle based just because those are my primary events.
Mhm.
But definitely, I do a lot of IM work. Right now, kind of just focusing on my back breasts, kind of my weaker points in my IM. But we'll do like some pace sets. I'll always do non-free and race my teammates on those, just because majority of the main sets are like freestyle based. So when we have an opportunity to do non-free or IM, I'm always like down for that because my teammates and I, we just my teammates, most of my team is like non-freestyler swimmers, I guess, like flyers, backstrokers, IMers. So just stepping up with them to race and like those type of sets, it helped me a lot for my IM training.
Yeah. Do you if taking out freestyle events, do you have a favorite event? Do you have a favorite non-freestyle event?
Non-freestyle for short courses, the two fly. I think that's like as well. It's like 100 flies a little bit too fast for me. Two flies like I said before, it's kind of like the perfect race where you don't have to be like sprinting the whole thing. I can kind of groove into the race.
Mm.
Breaststroke definitely not. I hate breaststroke. Backstroke, 2 back is pretty fun, but I think I'd choose the 2 fly, out of the non-free options.
We here at Swim Swam are 200 butterflyers. That was that
It's
was that was
it's a
my
good
best event. It was gold medal Mel's best event, and we respect 200 butterfly here. So I like that answer.
yeah, it's a hard event, definitely, like, I think one of the hardest events there is, though.
Agreed. Does your answer change if it's long course?
No, no, I think 2 fly long course as well. I think I'd still pick that. I think, honestly, I'm taking, like, 2 back difficulty over the 2 fly long course difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's certainly different kinds of pain.
Yeah, more in the legs for backstroke and then fly more in the arms.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Do you being in the Bay Area, do you train outdoors?
Yeah, we permanently train outdoors here. I don't think besides San Francisco, I think there's just like one or two indoor pools. So, but other than that, everyone else is outside.
I love that. That's a
Yeah,
that's a
it's awesome.
that's a great way to live. And now they even have an outdoor training pool in Austin, so still get to swim outside at times, which is
Yeah,
nice.
I'll keep my tan in.
That's right. That's right. Do you it is back do you find backstroke to be difficult outside?
Not really. I kind of like grew up swimming backstroke outside.
Yeah.
I know a lot of kids from the East Coast who are always like complaining about doing backstroke outside when they come from the indoor pools. But I haven't seen like many issues swimming outside. But I think indoor swimming backstroke's much easier. But outside, I have no issues swimming it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good answer. I mean, I swimming outside is like one of the best things in life to
Yeah,
me. So even if you don't have the line on the ceiling for backstroke, I feel like it's still very manageable.
yeah. Just looking up at the sun right in your eyes.
It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It's not that
fine.
bad.
Yeah, you still got flags unless the wind's blowing them away, but it's okay. Um, alright. So we've covered your training and your day to day. In terms of freestyle sets, do you have a favorite like 500 free or 400 free set that you've done or that you do to test your metal?
Um, I think a pretty common set would be like 10 100s on double O or 55, trying to hold
Mm,
500 pace or as close as I can to 100 pace or 500 pace. I think I do that multiple times a year. That one's definitely like kind of like a baseline of where I am in training. Like randomly, coach will say, "All right, we're doing 10 ones a minute, hold 5 pace," and it's like, okay, after this, we'll see where I'm at, and then if I need to change something in the training, we'll look and see what I need to change.
mhm. For yards, what are you trying to hold there?
Probably 50 points on the double O interval,
Mhm.
50 points, maybe 51 lows if I'm not having a good day.
Okay. So you're what is that's 410
Yeah,
pace, right? I
yeah,
mean, if you're averaging 50.0,
yeah,
uh, which is your best time,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay. So that it lines up pretty
yeah,
pretty
pretty
evenly.
even. Yeah,
I mean, again, going back to Texas, we've got Leon at 402, you've got Rex at 404, you've got Carson at 404, you've got Luke at 406.
yeah.
Assuming they're all there once you get there. How far do you think the 500 free could go? I didn't think it could get much faster than 405, but like, how soon do you think it'll be before we see a 359?
Ooh, I think maybe by next year NCs will break 4 minutes. I think this year there's gonna be quite a few people going like 405s. I think a lot of
Mm,
people are gonna be taking that step just because it's not like a Olympic year or anything really too major this year. So people will primarily be focusing on NCs, which I think is gonna be good fun to watch this year. But I think by next year, definitely, I think somebody will be breaking 4 minutes in the NCAA.
That's insane to me. What?
Yeah,
So, so they're holding what, like 48s,
yeah, I think
right?
so. That's crazy.
Or
That's crazy.
averaging
Man. Yeah,
48. That's crazy. I like how how many how many 48s could let's say on a minute, I don't
yeah.
know. How many 48s do you think you could push?
If I'm having like a really good day, maybe like 4 or 5. Like I don't think I could go that long holding
Yeah,
48s.
not 10, but maybe but 5. So in theory, you could be pushing 359 in a few years.
Yeah, and pushing 359 pace, that would be legendary if I could pull that off.
um, so I'm just having a little fun, but also, I mean, this is where we've gotten to in swimming,
Yeah,
which is insane to me. So thank you for humoring me.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you've got a lot of swimming knowledge, obviously. You know your mid distance freestyle.
yeah.
So uh, I'm gonna go back to making the world championship team now. You got to train with a lot of these guys, and you got to go to camp. What was that experience like for you in terms of just who were you training with, and what did that training look like?
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit different just because I didn't have my coaches there.
Mhm.
Um, I kinda I kinda did my sets on my own. I had to push myself as much as I can, which I don't really have issues doing, like, I can train on my own. But I like my training didn't really change much. I was kinda sticking to the coach's plan because I didn't really have much time to train there because it was taper time basically for everyone. So I kinda started my taper in, Thailand, but I had a few days of like pretty solid work. Other than that, it was mostly just taper time. But I think before I got sick, it was pretty good. It was going pretty good. Not really any complaints. Kind of just like going with the flow as much as I can because it was my first international trip. So trying to just learn and adapt as much as I can to get that full experience.
Do you feel like just on the training camp portion, you had what were some of those adaptions or lessons learned that you were picking up along the way?
Kind of just speaking up for myself or
Mm,
like taking care of myself a little better because at home I have like a lot of things like my parents can help me if I need something or I have my coaches that I can talk to if something's going wrong. I didn't really have that much over there, so just trying to build some connections with the coaches or like take ask the athletes for like what they do or what they did on their first international trip or just take some advice from them to see what I can incorporate to next time when I'm on a world level swim meet to take that to my advantage.
yeah. Did you have a primary coach that you were doing your sets with?
I did most of my sets with Greg.
Okay, nice. Did you have other swimmers you were doing those sets with?
Not really. I kind of did them on my own, but sometimes I'd like go in with a different group. Like I remember I had a couple practices with Gabe.
Mm,
I think I had like one practice with David Johnston. So
okay.
I was like a little bit everywhere, but at the same time I was doing my stuff.
Yeah. What did what did that stuff, I don't know, entail, look like? Was it, I guess, a little more specified than normal just because you were focusing on that one event, the 400 free?
Yeah, the training was definitely, like, different from, the club team where we kinda trained for everything, so
Mhm.
kinda after I made the team, my training kinda dialed down just to one event because I wasn't really needing to train for, like, 2 fly or 4 AM or something, so kinda just, like, having, like, 400 training to help me get ready for Worlds. It was a little different, but I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, specifying and focusing in on that one event, and then, yeah, obviously, as you mentioned, the sickness came through. How do you feel like that went for you, and how do you feel like you dealt with it in the moment, which I'm sure was a big learning lesson for you?
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. I think I dealt with it pretty good though. Like I don't think I could have done anything else to help
Mhm.
that sickness. I think I just had to like let the sickness go like through me and everything. There wasn't really much like meds or any stuff like that that could help me honestly. So I kind of just had to let it go through my system first. Go through all like the diarrhea and all that stuff, let it out of my body so I can become healthy and then restart again. But yeah, I don't it was rough, but I'm happy I'm happy, but I'm not happy I'm happy I got to experience that cuz we all get sick, so kind of just use that as motivation to, continue being better on, but then also sad that I missed out on I could have maybe had like a good performance.
Yeah. I mean, seems like you did the best with what you had, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's if you're getting sick, especially with your event being on the first day of competition, I'm guessing, were you still dealing with the illness at that time?
Yeah, yeah, my illness, it like, the throwing up stuff, it passed after, like, 1 day,
Mhm,
but, like, the diarrhea and, like, I couldn't eat, like, every time I ate, I just felt, like, really nauseous, so,
mhm.
like, I didn't really eat, much until I, like, race until after I race, like, day 3, I think, in the competition is when like I had my first meal and it was McDonald's. Like that was like the first actual meal I had since good 4 or 5 days. So it was definitely like basically like swimming on no food and like no energy. So it was pretty rough.
Yeah. I mean, and just physically, obviously, that has to tax you, but even mentally, it's like, how can you focus on executing your race plan or, be in the competition when you, when you have so much else on your mind and taxing your body as well?
Yeah, it was like I tried to kind of ignore all of like what happened in the past, but it's kind of hard to like ignore the fact that I just lost 20 pounds. I haven't eaten in days. Like it's hard to focus on swimming when all of this stuff is happening. But I did the best I could to deal with it. I don't think there was much else that honestly could have helped.
Yeah. I mean, so you get to swim at a world championships, and obviously that wasn't the ideal circumstances for what you had wanted. But then you get to hang out for a week and be on the world championship team, and get to see everyone going through this hardship, but also just their process of managing a world championships. What do you feel like you walked away from that piece of the experience with?
Yeah, I think I definitely learned a lot just like speaking with like the vets. Like I just kind of they have a lot of experience. Like they've been on multiple world trips. So just like speaking to them and like asking for like stuff like how they dealt with or like because they've definitely been sick before like on trips. So asking how they dealt with that or like how they maintain like their nutrition or stuff like that when some of them's coaches weren't there. So just asking like how they can balance that stuff with like what they usually have at home, like how to deal with like incorporate that, but also like when they don't have something that they use at home, how do they um adjust to it. So just like simple stuff like that kind of help me realize that like you got to speak up for yourself when you need it if you don't have anything, or like if I'm sick and I don't have something I need, I go tell the doctor what I need, or like if some food like that I don't like or like I'm allergic to, like tell the doctor that and they can get me more food.
Hmm. Yeah. Did when did you I know you said you ate your first meal on day 3. Is that when you started feeling better as well?
Yeah, after I had the McDonald's, I kind of like I was like, okay, I can stuff some food down, so I'm gonna try and keep stuffing food down so I can slowly start gaining my weight back. But I honestly wasn't eating fully much until like a couple days back at home. Um,
Okay. Wow.
I was eating like a lot of ice cream at Worlds like after because it was pretty easy for me to like put down because it wasn't really like it was like a little small ice cream tub, so I'd eat like a
Mm.
couple of those a day because it was pretty light on my stomach. So that's all basically I ate until I got home.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Just just living on ice cream in Singapore. I mean, but when you get sick, that is what you gotta do,
yeah.
you just gotta make it work. Um, and in terms of just the meet itself and getting to be, on the spectating end of it or the fan end of it, did you have a race there that stuck out to you?
I think like Leon's crazy 2 IM in semis. That was like legendary. But like it's a different experience when you're in person versus online, like watching it through the TV. Like when I usually like I'll be watching Worlds or Olympics through the TV, but then when you go inside in person, like hear like all the noise in like the arena, it's crazy, but it's that's a great experience to be able to also like see up close how the best athletes in the world like take care of themselves and how they race, not online but in person.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Had you seen a world record before in person?
Um, I think couple like a long time ago, back in Santa Clara, it was like an Arena Pro Series. Michael Phelps broke a world record in that pool. I think that was a long time ago. Like I don't remember that well, but I think Leon's was like the first like real world record I remember.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a
To
great. It was a crazy barrier too.
No kidding. Yeah. Skipped 153 altogether in
Yeah,
that 200 IM. Yeah, pretty nuts. of him to do that. So that's a very cool swim to get to witness in person, I'm sure. So then, when you get back home from that, what does your diet look like? What are you normally eating to fuel yourself? And in that case, I guess to gain 20 pounds back.
Yeah, so when I'm like on break, I eat pretty bad. Like honestly, my diet's not that good. Like I eat out a lot, but over like the past couple months, I realized like I can't keep doing this. Like it's just gonna drag my performance down. So I've been eating a lot better. Like I didn't eat much vegetables before, but now I eat like a lot of broccoli and stuff like that just to keep like my diet a little bit more on the healthier side. Because I know in college, like, no coach is gonna let me be eating junk food or, like, Panda Express and, like, all that stuff on a daily basis. So kinda just, like, starting now to, eat a little bit healthier and cut down on the sweets a little bit, it probably is gonna help me for the long run, but after Worlds, I was eating, like, straight crap.
Well, I think you deserved it on that one, but
Yeah,
that's no, I think that's a very mature take and proactive take on the diet.
yeah,
Well, there's a lot of taco joints in Austin,
yeah,
so you're preparing yourself to approach them with a healthier mindset because
yeah,
when you sprinkle on the queso, it can the calories can get bumped up pretty quickly for that one.
exactly, yeah.
Well, that's great. So we've covered world championships, we've covered your training, we've covered your college commitment. We asked Instagram what we should ask you. So I'm gonna end this with just some rapid fire questions or some questions from Instagram. Let's see. You have morning practices. Someone's asking, what do you eat before morning practices? You can
I just eat 1 sesame seed bagel with cream cheese.
Oh, man, that sounds good. Do you
Yeah.
is it from somewhere or do you just do that at home?
It's from Noah's Bagels. I get like a dozen before the week before, or
Mm,
and yeah, it just gets gone every week. So every week, my dad makes a trip to Noah's Bagel to get bagels.
all right. Shout out. I gotta go get a bagel after this. That sounds so good. Shout out to Noah's Bagels.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
awesome.
your next meet, which also just what does this season look like for you? I had a few things in my mind I want to ask you about. This is one of them. So you're going Pan Packs this summer. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. I got
Okay.
a qual. I don't know how the qualification is for that, but whatever it is, I gotta qualify for it first.
Well, I think that it's pre-qualified. Um, anyway, what is your season looking like? Just in terms of are you having a short course season? Are you focusing on long course? And do you know what meets are going to be on your schedule for I guess through August?
Yeah, so next week I got a club meet, prelims finals, kind of first shot at some of my best events, and then
Mhm.
a couple weeks later I'm going to opens, and then 2 weeks after that we got sectionals, which is I'm swimming all my best events. Kind of like that's my last meet of the season before January, and then probably have like up until March, probably some couple more club meets, like some prelims finals meets, and then
Okay.
from March to May is high school season. Got states and
Right.
all that stuff, and
Hmm.
then whether or not I have to qualify for Pan Pacs, I'm going to nationals just to race, get that long course experience, and then
Mm.
I'll be at Pan Pacs to finish out my
Okay.
season. Yeah,
Exciting. So that I think that's a little bit interesting. We've seen swimmers on your level, even at your age, maybe put a little more emphasis on going to events like pro swims or the U.S. Open, and it seems like you're doing a lot more local competition. Have you and your coach made a concerted effort to do that, or is that something do you have a reasoning behind that? Because I think that's pretty cool.
Not really. Kind of just I don't think there's many like big meets, so I think just like getting that. I actually have no idea honestly. I've been doing it my whole life, so I'll
Yeah.
probably keep doing it. I'm sure we'll probably be going to a pro series. I'm not sure yet which one, but probably in next year for just long course experience, just to get back to racing long course before Pen Packs. But yeah, I'm not sure why I just do club meets. I kind of just been doing it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's great. It's cool that it also, if it keeps working,
Why
why
stop?
change it?
Yeah.
Why stop? Exactly. Okay, back to the question board. Um, all right. Do you have any specific goals you want to achieve? I guess just this, we can say this season. Do you have goals of any kind that are keeping you motivated and hungry?
For a long course season, getting that world junior record and that for free 342, that's my goal this year to break that record, and then as well as just dropping some time and honestly just having fun with like my teammates before they all leave for college. Like most of our group is class of 26 and 27, so
Hmm.
most of like the 26s I kind of grew up with them as well. Like not they weren't we weren't really like we weren't on the same team when I was in Santa Clara, but we were like we have like western zones here, so when we were like little we'd go on those trips together like to represent our LSC. So kind of
Mhm.
just like spending as much time as you can and having fun with them before I leave. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's those are all great goals. What world junior record 342 in the 400 freestyle. What did you think of that when you when it got broken when you saw that?
Yeah, that was crazy. I think it was right before I was going to practice too. So I told all my teammates about it, and I told my coaches about it, and we're like, we all were like, all right, you got this. Like I'm gonna just be training for that. That's gonna be like the goal this summer to see how far under that I can get, and then as
Mm,
well as just like doing good in every like going good times in all the other events this season.
yeah. I mean, great goals. Great goals, and we will be excited to see you chase them. Do you have a favorite swimmer?
Right now, probably Leon. Just like I look up to him a lot. Just like his short course performances were crazy, as well as his like long course, his Olympics, like that was crazy. Just watching him race is always amazing. Like you never know what he's gonna do, so it's like a mystery, but it's also awesome to just see him watch him race.
He's yeah, he's pretty stunning.
Yeah,
The things he's done, and he keeps amazing, right?
yeah.
He keeps going at it, and getting better and better. Are you a short course or a long course person?
I'm a long course person. I think I'd prefer training short course, but I like racing long
Mhm.
course better.
Okay. We just wrapped on the World Cup, which is short course meters. Have you
Yeah.
ever trained or raced short course meters?
I've never trained it, but I raced it once in 2022 in the Berlin World Cup, which is a long time ago. But yeah, that was like the only experience I have racing it.
So you're like 13.
Yeah, I was 13.
What was that like going to a World Cup in Berlin, short course meters? You're 13 years old.
Yeah, I actually miscounted the for free because I was so used to like long course, so I was like, all right, or like the 5 free as well because we have lap counters. Like, "Oh, surely we'll have lap counters," and I was like, I didn't know, I no idea. So I was like, "Oh, shoot, I gotta count 16 laps," and sometimes, like, I lose count because I get distracted in my head. So I thought I was done, and I, like, touched the wall, but then, like, I flipped over with, like, my hand on the wall. So it was pretty crazy, but yeah, it was definitely like crazy to see all the pros race there. I remember Shane was there and
Yeah.
all those big names. It was first time me experiencing that.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a great experience to have, especially as a younger swimmer.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that's a good time for something to go wrong, such as
Yeah.
miscounting a race. Um, wow. Okay. So one short course meters race. Um, I think. Do you have a favorite set? I know we asked you about a good 500 free set. Do you have a favorite set?
I don't think I honestly don't have a favorite set. I kinda like doing everything, like trying something new. Like I'm kinda down to do whatever type of set.
Mhm.
Just kinda have fun with it, but I don't think I have a favorite set.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think I think there are too many sets to choose from.
Exactly, exactly.
So those are some of our Instagram questions. I think we're good there, Luca. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk about your training, talk about your season upcoming, your summer past, and as well as, of course, the big news. You'll be going to the University of Texas in the fall of 2027. So, once again, I really appreciate the time, Luca.
Of course, thank you so much for having me.
You've been listening to the Swim Swam podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week. You can take Swim Swam podcast on the go by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Look for links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos as well.